Doing this year, Oregon's a little bit different because I think of the strengths of their quarterbacks. I think Thomas Kidd runs very well, but he passes probably better, clearly, than Masoli did. And Masoli, they did a little bit more in their run game probably with Masoli, but they're very, they're very sound, and they probably don't run as many formations as they did. But once again, their speed on offense is very, very evident. If we're not IDing people correctly, and quarterback isn't get rid of the ball at the right time, they're going to create problems for you. And we just have to continue to go in with a solid game plan and execute it. And they're so prolific in their offense that their defense can be very aggressive, and they can gamble, and knowing that if they do give up a touchdown or two, it's really not going to have an impact in the game. So by gambling, they make some really big plays. They do some great things, and so right now it's working very well for them. Every year things change, but after just seeing how so far the teams have been playing in this conference, I think I could argue with anybody that this is the strongest conference in America right now, period. And I don't know that there's one close, to be quite honest. And I think you look at our special teams, you look at the offensive explosiveness in this conference, and really good defenses. I just think right now this conference is maybe as strong as it's ever been right now. And, I talked to Coach Levy, who's in his 19th year, and he thinks it's top to bottom the best it's ever been. I think what has to happen is regardless of what your base defense is, you always have to kind of adapt to the formations you're going to see. And right now it's doing our best to just predict what we think we're going to see. And then align correctly, and it all starts out of our base front. It doesn't mean we're not going to have some tweaks here and there for what we're trying to do, which everybody does, and we'll have that as well. But our plan is not to change our whole philosophy of our defense at all. We got to get those two freshmen and CJ and Kafusi a lot of reps. He's going to sit off, and then probably not get a lot of reps because those other guys are going to get it right now. But Halston's also taking more and more reps, when we get in some of our two back personnel on offense. And so that's going to kind of, I think, grow as we keep moving through the season here as well for him in that role. He's going to get a lot of reps running with the ones. And the twos. We'll split them all up in there. But, yeah, Carpenter definitely play in there. And like I said before, he was recruited in as a safety, and I think he's comfortable there. And so that'll help our speed back there and somebody that's a pretty physical football player for his age. And, again, that'll give us it should help our team. And a lot of that has to do with kind of the emergence of DeMonte Horton playing better and better each week. And Nolan playing and Daniel and and Eric Justin's back a little bit healthier, so it buys us some more depth at the corner position. And since obviously Chima's nicked up this week at this point, along with Leandre's out and Jay Matthews is out for the whole year, our depth at the safety position has become thinner than we would want, and so it's obviously it's fairly youthful at the position. But it'll help us, moving Anthony back there. No, he's got a hamstring and it's been sore, and so we'll know more as we move through the week whether he'll be able to play. Well, the spread can do multiple things. Some people will spread you to throw it first, and some people spread you to run it first. Oregon spread you to run it first. And then everybody has a screen game, packages out of it, and then a lot of it is tailored to your best personnel, and so you try to diagram things that fit your best personnel. So it all has its variations, but what Oregon does is they incorporate their quarterback so well with their two running backs that are probably faster than anybody else, and they spread the field and they're physical enough to block well in the edge for the screen game. And then their backs are just so quick, and so give them just a little bit of room and it's over. And I think that's what makes the difference. They've been running this offense for a little bit, and they've kind of tweaked it based on their personnel. Some years it hasn't been as effective as other years, and a lot of it has to do with the personnel that's in it. And right now, the James kid is so fast and quick that he just changes what happens, and it's amazing when you have somebody like that. It's like Jerome Harrison when he was here, a 2,000-yard rusher, and and a lot of times things weren't blocked right, but he made things look right, and that's what Michael James does for them. I mean, they do things great. Don't get me wrong; they execute extremely well, but you compile that with the talent, you get what they're getting right now: 56 points a game. Hopefully our players are starting to gain the confidence, and they are, that we're evolving here on our offense with our our quarterback and O-line and our receiving core to have the confidence and then go out and execute and throw the ball around. And we're doing that. And I think it shows up sometimes against Oregon that you have that capability to do that. But it also comes back to making sure we're putting the right blockers on the right people coming and giving our quarterback time. I think that if we can have some time and we're capable of creating time for Jeff, that they'll convert. They'll be able to complete balls and they'll be able to move the ball. So I believe we have confidence and we're gaining that as we go, but we also know we're facing a very good football team, a very good defense. And, we've got to go out and execute. We've got to go play good, sound, hard football and compete our tails off. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, and it's a good question because that has been something we've really been stressing this season and particularly the last 3 or 4 weeks with our players. And it needs to be a program culture and how you handle your team, and we got to educate our players, and that's a process. But we always talk about the scoreboard lies, and it's a liar, and it always lies to you until there's no time left on the clock. And then that's where the truth is. And so to get too caught up in it too early really is a waste of time, and it only interferes with what our mission is for the 4 quarters and how we got to play. So, that's something we're trying to breed within our kids and our players right now and our program. And I think they're starting to see that, and they have to continue to understand the scoreboard's a lie until the game's over. I mean, Marquise is showing flashes so far of some really good things, and he's nowhere near the player he can be, and I think that's very exciting. And he's got a lot of work to do, but so far he's done very well. And Jeff's obviously just in his second year as a quarterback, so there's a lot of exciting times ahead. We got to keep these guys going and growing, and I think the more we develop our other players at the receiving core, the more that's going to help Marquise as well. And the majority of these guys are back, and then we could add someone like Christoph Williams and Bobby Ratliff and Blair Bomber that right now look like they're going to end up redshirting, but they're capable potentially now to help. But we're just redshirting them, and I think as these guys grow, with the nucleus of receivers we're going to bring in again in the fall, a new group. We've got something special brewing here. We're going to be able to throw the ball extremely well.